what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I am a couple minutes late. I was just on with someone who designs leads and systems, and our conversation was really good, so it ran kind of long. Ben, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, doing really good. I'm so excited to dial RedX leads live for you guys. We got Chase and Miles in the house. I'm going to be dialing your lead. So how often do you use your RedX account? Just go ahead and be honest, because I know the answer, but why don't you go ahead and just say the answer?
Honestly, I think RedX uses it more than I do.
So I actually had a really good meeting with RedX at the 𝗥𝗶 Shareholder Summit, and they're doing a bunch of stuff with like Sphere and SOI and like getting people on social media that before you can call them, like if they come in as an expired, canceled 𝗲𝗏𝗶 owner at 6 a.m., then by the time we dial them, you're actually in their news feed on social media. So they're beta testing that right now with about 1,000 people. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for their expired plus data. I have been very transparent with them about their vortex data not being what they are saying it is. I've called them out, just like I called out 𝗦𝗲𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 and all the rest of them. It is not what it was supposed to be. We went from a 20% answer rate to a 3% answer rate during the pandemic. And what happened was they actually got a contract pulled from them because the way that it was sold to them was not what it was supposed to be. So we finally got to the bottom of it, which shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the data service, when you're providing data services to people, when we have to respect privacy laws, DNC lists, like there's so much out there that we have to respect. And now with these new cell phone laws and text laws, it is what it is. So they went through some issues with their stuff. Now they're saying that they're at a 1 to 6 answer rate. So we're going to test that.
Okay.
And anything that I get, I have a call set up for you right now. Anything that I get as far as setting an appointment, I'm going to be setting it for you. This caller ID, just ignore that. I have a preferred client in your area and we use a blanket caller ID, but for this, I'm actually using yours because I'm going to dial right in Vortex. Normally what we do is we transfer that to Mojo, and then I use the Mojo triple line dialer and I fully customize the caller ID and everything. But I'm going to dial right into their dial system, which I think is called Wave now instead of the Vortex dialer. So this is the contact information that we have for you and your office address if they ask. And then just so that I know about suggesting an appointment, should I suggest anything for a listing appointment today or tomorrow? Or what are your open availability for a listing appointment today or tomorrow?
David, how are we looking? I mean,
for a listing appointment tomorrow, we're good to go.
Good to go.
What about today?
8 a.m. to 7 p.m. or?
And if we have a listing appointment today, yeah, I have agents ready.
You have an agent ready? Okay. All right, cool. Who would be the agent? Is it going to be Mr. Miles or is it going to be someone else?
It'll be someone else.
Okay. Do you know their name offhand just because I can dial on behalf of them?
Andrew.
Andrew. Okay. And what's Andrew's last name?
Martinez.
Martinez. Okay, perfect. And does he have a direct phone number that I should be mindful of, or?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Hang on.
Okay, cool. And then I'm just going to get started. So just so that I know, what is for everyone listening, what is your biggest issue with dialing expireds? And just think about that while David gives me this phone number. I'm ready when you are.
I put it in the chat for you. I didn't know you were going to be talking through it.
No problem. There we go. All right, perfect. So real quick before I start, what is everyone's biggest issue with just getting on and dialing expireds? And just yell it out, just informal. What's the problem? Why do you not get to it?
Well, for me, I just got a new role, but I used to dial them all the time.
Okay.
It wasn't a hindrance, but if I was thinking about one, it's just that, you know, the objections that come, you know, you got to handle the objections. They're Oh, I'm not looking for a realtor because I don't want to pay 3% or 6% of that type of deal. So they're doing it on their own.
Yeah.
So that would be one. That would be a main objection that I hear all the time.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation to be in, right? When they're basically telling you why they don't want to work with you over the phone, you have to think on the fly of what to say in that situation. It's uncomfortable, right? We don't want to be rejected. I'm like, man, we're calling to help you, and you already like, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. And they play the hardball. They're like, if you bring me a buyer, then we can talk or something like that. And then I remember I was talking to one guy in Garland a lot, and he was rejecting me, and I called him. At least we'd had a conversation like 5 times, and then all of a sudden he goes with a realtor. he goes with a realtor because I'm not trying to be sick, I guess, because she was a woman. And I was like, well, she had the right talk to you. I guess that's what happened, or whatever the case may be. But you just get objections, man.
Yep. Yeah, you do. And I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is what I would do, and you should have done this, and I could do the call better. Like, that's not the purpose of this. And a lot of the time, handling that objection on the fly is really difficult, especially when you're getting rejected all the time. I'll say that one of the things that I feel like I do well is handling that objection. Like, I thought of ways to handle that on the fly as you were saying it. But that really comes down to like really thinking outside of the script. How can you help them? Okay, so when somebody says, well, if you bring me a buyer, then I'll list with you. Okay, great. Well, in order for me to bring you a buyer, we need to sit down, talk business, establish price. I need to see your home and see why it didn't sell the first time around before I just put this live and promise to all these buyers what your home looks like. Mm-hmm. It was on the market for X amount of days and it didn't sell. So we need to figure out why before I bring it to my buyers. Like, my buyers are pre-approved and ready to go. So what time today works best for you is usually how I would handle that. Right. And if we get that a lot with FSBOs, we're like, well, bring me a buyer. Okay, absolutely, I will. Let's sit down and talk about price, make sure that we get the business terms out of the way. I'll do a walkthrough and then I can bring it to my buyers and see which one's ready, and I'll have a solid walkthrough for you. I don't know if I'm going to be so eloquent on the phone today, so I might be telling you textbook theory and then not applying it myself. I don't know. I want to hit start on the dialer. I just logged in with that number, and now I'm going to enter the PIN, and we'll just get going with it. I might just get hung up on.
Right, yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a minute. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this is an owner agent. So what I'm going to do with him is ask him if he needs help selling his home locally. And I'm going to call on behalf of Andrew Martinez. He answers. This is nice ring music. It's like I'm on hold waiting for them to answer. So while I'm looking at this, I'm seeing when it was listed. I'm seeing when it expired. So this is an agent owner who's with Berkshire Hathaway. I'm also seeing just stats about the home. Where's it located? So I can say, hey, Don, I'm calling about your property over in Garland, Texas. Looks like you had it listed for sale. Why do you think it didn't sell? And he's going to go, oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, I just got hung up on. Why did that happen? All right, hang on. Let me get back into the dialer. This is another reason why I try to stay away from other dialers. I don't know why Vortex just did that to me.
You know, that's cool. It shows you the stats right next to the phone number, like side by side. I like that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? All right, I gotta get
super easy when you're calling them. You can sound educated right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me just see. Okay, so I'm gonna dial these. Well, this is actually a cool screen to see. So you can exclude mobile numbers. I am going to exclude the DNC just because I'm not using a ghost caller ID. And full disclosure, you guys, if you call the DNC list, you are 1,000% responsible. That could be a $12,000 fine. It really just depends on your threshold, right, for risk. Just know that if you call them and they're on the DNC list, there's attorneys now that specialize in it. So I'm not going to do that in somebody else's account. I will tell you that I do call the DNC list. I typically use a different script. So,
oh, okay.
I usually say, hey, we have buyers looking in your area. I understand you own a home in this area. You know, what are your plans of selling?
Got it.
And if they're like, oh, well, yeah, I did want to sell, but now I changed my mind, I qualify them as a survey call because that's legal.
Mhm.
All right, so let me see if I can get logged back in. But it's kind of hard to pivot when you're on the dialer. You have to see that you're dialing the DNC number. Or you just email them. I mean, you're not going to get in any trouble emailing them.
Welcome to Wave.
Okay. Here we go. All right, he didn't answer. Now we're calling Michelle Smith. They're in Fort Worth, Texas. They had their home listed. It says for 32 days. That's a lot more than 32 days, November to June. It must have been taken off and re-put back on. For 400,000. Let's see if I can look at it. So I like to see what it looks like. And I actually do like to look at the Z estimates now because it was listed for 400,000, but it looks like the Z estimate's 468. Go back here. All right, they didn't answer. So we're gonna resume dialing. And now it didn't answer. So now I'm at, what's that, Roanoke?
By Trophy Club.
There we go, by Trophy Club. On the market for 108 days. Hello, hi, is Jose available? Hi, is this Miss Prado? Are you still there? Is Jose available? I don't know if they hung up on me or which one just answered. All right. I guess we're going to go to the next one. Okay. All right, we're going to call his next phone number. I kind of want to call that number back though. And there's a lot more you can do when you dial too with the email. And like, let's say that you have Ring Central, you can do text with them. You can text as you go as well, which is nice. We do a system to where we text our list just before we start. And that's really effective too. So you can get advanced level with it. It's just a lot of moving parts.
So you say you text the potential caller?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we text them all before we call them. We'll do a bulk text, usually with our KV core because we get it with EXP. So we just export, like this is just in your preferred area, the 32 numbers that came up. You just export that, get it into KV core, do a bulk text, and then dial them.
Been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Okay. No answer. That hold music is actually kind of annoying. So and Prairie.
Shut it off.
Reach is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, so that was a FSBO. It's kind of cool.
Do you think with FSBOs, do you have to call twice? Will they answer?
Yeah, you can. You can double call them.
Yeah, double call them because they usually don't answer when I do it once.
My gosh, this is one of the best dialer systems. All right, and there you are. There's your list. There's your expireds. Go right to the power dialer. And then I'm going to use our Ring Central. We just call it Dana's, but it's Ring Central that rings back to us. I'm not going to drop a voicemail. I'm going to do a girl's voice, and then the number lines is going to be 3. The sweet spot between the amount of rings that you can do is 4 to 7. If you want to leave voicemails, do 7. If you don't want to leave voicemails, you just want the people ready to pick up the phone, do 4. And then I always want to filter out ones that have a future appointment scheduled. The dialing filters in here are exceptional. I could go like their listing price. Like if you only wanted me to talk to people that was $500,000 and up, I could put that in right there and it would filter it out. If I want to talk to people that had a status change date 3 weeks ago, I could put it in here and just set it and forget it. And I don't have to do anything else. So like the filter system on here is really nice. I can even set up an auto email. So when I get done calling them, it sends the email. I'm sure that you can do those things in the RedX dialer system. I don't know the delay, but for me, like I've been just using this one for so long. So. All right, now we have 5,000 entries. It's going to start with the newest ones and then go to the oldest ones, but we're on the triple line. So it's not click to call. That whole, I had to resume it every single time for every phone number nonsense, that drives me insane. I'm on the dialer, just call the flipping leads. 8506. All right, the dialer system that I dial in with my cell phone is pretty much the same.
Please enter your PIN number.
So I just put my PIN number in.
You are now logged into the Mojo dialer. Please
All right.
press the start button on your screen to begin calling.
And their servers are all USA based, so it should be on demand. Even when you have someone from overseas dialing, they're connecting to a USA based server. So you should have no delay like you experienced with Vonage or Ring Central. And Ring Central's gotten a lot better than Vonage. But RedX said that they fixed their servers. I don't know. I don't know if they have or not. So you'll see up here, it's dialing 3 phone numbers.
Automatic voice message system.
And then I gotta move my camera again.
130
All right.
18.
No contact. I'm just going to go to the next one. You can drop an auto message. I'll tell you though, that if you're calling everything, even the
Your call has
DNC
been
list,
forwarded to an
you
automatic
don't want to
voice
do that.
message system. 8.
I'll hang up and just show you what I'm looking at here. So this is their name. This is their address. If they have a different mailing address, it goes right here, which is awesome to know if they're not a local homeowner because your script is different or slightly different. And then this is where you see if it's canceled or expired, status change date, their list price, the MLS ID, and then you can click right here if you want to do Zillow. So it's pretty user friendly. And then you can change that data as you dial too, which you might be able to do with RedX. I need to play around with it more. Give the wave dialer its chance.
Please leave your message for 5.
All right. We just need 1. And this caller ID was checked for scam likely. So it's not ringing scam likely, it's ringing as a regular phone number. If you guys go through a solid dial session and nobody's answering, it could be your caller ID's gummed up. And it's just hard to overcome that. If you use it too much and it's on the same servers too many times, it pings it to the cell phone towers as scam.
So this Mojo is dialing multiple.
Yeah, so we're dialing Michelle, Paris, and Yang at the same time. Whoever answers, I get. The rest of them get dropped. And then those are the next 2 to be dialed again. It's kind of nice because you dial and then hang up because all their phones are ringing. So then when you dial them again, they're ready to answer. It's almost like you're triple dialing them.
To an automatic voice message system.
And I find as this gets going, I get a higher answer rate. But as of right now, I'm not seeing a change in their data.
4 9 3 5.
Here's the difference, and I hate to say a comparative between them and Vulcan 7, but with Vulcan 7 data, I wish I had a Dallas account right now because we would have had people answer.
Por favor, deje un mensaje para 121.
Like
I will try to lock that up today.
They're saying 1 to 6 ratio, and they're at a 1 to 20 ratio, which is like circle prospecting geo leads. Hello, hi, is this Lucas?
Who's this?
Hi, yeah, my name's Aleta. I'm calling on behalf of Andrew Martinez with 𝗥𝗶 Real Estate. Just wanted to get in touch with you about your property over in Dallas.
My property at 2371 is not available.
Yeah, I actually wanted to call and see what your future plans were with this property. If you wanted to potentially sell it again, maybe the end of summer or early fall.
I am actively selling it. I'm just going through a different route. So
Oh, okay.
It's not available. I'll be done with it in the next couple of weeks, actually.
Do you have an accepted offer on it? And I'm just wondering if you're wanting to sell it off market. I might have a buyer in that price point that we could sell it off market with you.
I already do. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
You do? Okay. In the event that the deal falls through, what's the best email? And I'll just send you out my information.
In the event that the deal falls through, I actually already have a couple of other avenues I might go down. So I hate to waste your time. So I'm fully good with where I'm at, but I appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, Lucas, I mean, it's not a waste of time. It's what I do for a living. So you want me to just check back with you next week and just make sure it's all going through?
You can certainly give it a shot.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You can. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, cool. Did you guys hear him okay?
Yeah, I heard him perfect.
Yeah, I heard him.
Okay, cool. So this is a very typical canceled, right? He has somebody in the pipeline. He thinks he has an accepted offer. He has a few other people that want to buy it. It looks like he had it on the market. How many days? Let's just see. Listing canceled. Where's the list date?
It's up there, but it's blank.
Yeah, I don't see it on there either. Let me see if Zillow can show me something. Off market, sometimes it shows you how often or how long it was on. Okay. So price change. So listed for sale, listing removed. Oh, so he had it for rent and then he had it listed for sale. And now he's kind of chasing the market. Z estimates at 525. Let me see what he's trying to sell it for. 520. Okay, so looks like he had it listed. I don't know why this wouldn't sell. I think that you guys would probably be, more of the specialist. This is coming from, a real estate market that everything was selling, before it was even on. And it was selling for over asking price, right?
Mhm.
But for me as a specialist in this area, if I take a look at this house and I'm like, okay, well, he's not selling because it's overpriced, this would be a great person to follow up with. I would absolutely call him next Monday and say, hey, just checking in, wanting to make sure that your offer was still going through. Because if they get an appraisal or there's some issues going on and he doesn't sell it, you might be able to talk him into, hey, I did some research on your home and this is why it didn't sell. For that price point, it would be worth it.
Can you
And-
click on that map? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Click where?
On like the map view. I just want to see where that is.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And then back it out.
Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, huh? Yeah, I don't know why that one wouldn't sell for that price. I mean, he may be a little bit high, but that's not a bad area for that price point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what I normally do is I go to pictures. Is that what you would do as well? Or
Yeah. I mean, I like to look at the pictures too. Yeah.
I wonder if it's been looking on the inside.
I mean, I can do more research on it, but
these are a typical case study for a canceled expired. Like he listed it at a time when it was sold, right? I mean, back in April.
yeah, he canceled it because, oh, you're not my realtor. It didn't sell in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Is this, I mean, does this hold the value for 520? I mean, he's got
I
a
mean, the
gym.
fact that it's not
I mean,
updated though, because he can sell that house for that price. Actually, I mean, it has a pool. Yeah, I don't.
I have a pool.
He probably just had it not so good, unless he was unreasonable and he did receive offers and he was just like not very reasonable.
he seemed like a high D personality. Like he seemed like he was the type that would accommodate the showings and, be like, this is the best house in the world. And I've seen owners scare people off. But I don't know. I mean, that's a market where it sells itself. this is what people are saying, right? I mean, it sells itself, but now the market dropped 7.5%, 0.4%. Does that sound right?
Yep.
In that area. So with this one right here, you guys, if you want his information, I can just email it to you. If you want to send him a personal email, you can. This one would be one that the ISAs would follow up with and do a call back. So do you want me to send it to you or?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me see if I do print hot sheet and then send a copy and email.
Hello?
Hello, hi, is this Mr. Bronner?
Yes.
Hi, yeah, my name's Aleta. I'm calling on behalf of Andrew Martinez with eXp Real Estate. Just a quick call about your property in Rockwall. I saw that you had it listed for sale and it doesn't look like it's sold.
This is the wrong number.
Oh, okay. Do you happen to know Carrie Bronner by chance?
No, I don't know Carrie Bronner.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And you didn't have a property in off of Hickory Creek Lane?
No, that's not me.
Oh, all right. I don't suppose you live in Rockwall and have a property to sell. Do you? Hello? Oh, he hung up on me. All right.
Now, didn't he say yes at first?
Did he say yes?
Yeah, I think he said yes.
Bronner. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely said yes.
Oh, he said
Yeah,
yeah. That's
he
why
said
you
his
kept
last
going.
name. Yeah, he said his last name was Bronner.
Bronner, yeah.
Call him back maybe tomorrow. Maybe he'll be Mr. Bronner off of Rockwall tomorrow.
Wow.
We've had people blow us off 6 times and then we set an appointment. So
Mhm.
Please leave your message for 469.
he would have never said that if he saw you on social media. He'd be like,
Please state your name
Like,
after
oh,
the tone.
I was waiting
and
for your
Google Voice
call.
will try to connect you.
Aleta. This looks like a rental property. She's got 2 addresses.
Hello, this is David.
Oh, hi, David. My name's Aleta. I'm calling on behalf of Andrew Martinez with eXp Real Estate. Just wanted to talk to you about your property off of in Little Elm, Texas.
Do you have a buyer?
Oh my gosh, I would love to bring you a buyer. Are you wanting to sell it still for $520?
Yeah, I have, but I've hired a real estate agent and he's getting to it. So.
Oh, okay. When are you guys putting it back on the market?
When it's on the market now, it's still on Zillow. I was trying to do a flat fee MLS, so I watched the whole video thing and
Yeah.
felt like I had it under control.
Yeah.
And then nothing good happened.
Yeah.
And so I know the boys club kind of thing, I think. And so I'm gonna try a realtor
Okay.
and give him about a month, and then if not, I'm just gonna rent it because even with the price. The interest rates going up and all, no matter what, people still have to live here.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely. Well, I'd
I don't
hate
wanna
to,
give too much of a price break.
yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'd hate to see you in that situation again. Since you're interviewing agents, could we swing by today and just try to earn your business and get it listed and sold for you this time around?
No, thanks. So
Did you guys already sign paperwork? Oh, he hung up on me. All right.
Good.
So what do you guys want to do with this one? I know what I would do, but let's make this interactive. So what would you do? with that?
You definitely want to follow up with that one, because since he's entertaining the thought of having agents, so that's a good thing. So we should just follow up with him and see how that's going.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? What are some other thoughts that you guys have?
I'd door knock his house with a CMA and see if he's home and try and meet him in person.
Mr. Miles?
Yeah, I like the CMA pre-listing packet, but I would also continue watching his Zillow because I feel like that's his plan of doing it. I mean, he didn't say that he wouldn't hire an agent, but he sounded like he's trying a Zillow thing. So I would kind of watch that and see what he puts on there, open houses, changing the description, change the price. I mean, I can already tell like his photos are not good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a very high competition area, and a lot of the homes in the area look like his. So we really would need to find out what his motivation is for selling. I know that he mentioned interest rates and stuff, so maybe that's a concern of his. He won't be able to sell. And it sounds like he needs to have maybe a more competent, I mean, I would even look up the realtor who he hired, but maybe a more competent, intelligent conversation with a sales professional to talk to him about what's really going on in a strategic plan of attack for that specific property.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What I picked up from the conversation, and I think, it's really, I don't think there's a wrong way to do this, just like all of you guys are saying. It looks to me like he has a different mailing address, and he said that he would rent it again. So I think he's been using this as a rental property. And he might be wanting to get his equity out, right? The conversation I feel like I should have had is, okay, well, are you wanting to sell this to reinvest into something else? So, Chasen, you that's your hat. Like, I would almost want you to call him sometime this evening and ask him, about his property, but then say, like, be ready to ask that. Like, okay, was this a rental for you? Or are you wanting to reinvest? Because that to me, like, is your level of genius. Like, that's your tool in the box, basically.
Right.
And then also, like, the first thing he said to me was, do you have a buyer? And I'm like, well, I'd like to have a buyer, but my question to you guys is, do you have a buyer? Like, do you have a pre-approved buyer anywhere in the 550 to 500 price point that you think you could help get him under contract? Because if you do, you call him up and say, hey, you spoke with my assistant earlier. We have a buyer pre-approved for this price. I just need to tour the house first, and if this is the right house, I'd like to bring her by. But by the way, when this house sells, do you want to buy another investment property? Because if it doesn't fit your buyer, like, and you'd want to make sure you have a real buyer. I mean, at least we could go through your KV Core account, or if you have a Chime CRM or wherever your buyer leads are, we could apply a 7 and 7 filter by this price point. Anybody that's in the market to buy 500 to 550 that is favorited a home, they're probably going to come up. And so very strategically, this is where your ISA or you, like, if you guys want a deal today, I would go through your buyer leads, see if you have somebody that's pre-approved, call your preferred lender. Who do you have that's pre-approved that wants this area for this price point? Go through your CRM, call him back, say, hey, we have a buyer. It might be a good fit. We need to tour the home. And by the way, what are you going to do when this sells? Are you going to buy another home? Because then you're already introducing yourself as somebody that buys and sells investment property. And if he hates his realtor, at the end of this, like, let's say he does hire somebody, then you guys would be in. But you could easily get a deal with no competition right now with a buyer lead. I mean, it's not active for sale. It's just a for sale by owner. So you don't have a line out the door.
Right.
No.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So it's not a sign in the ground right now, but I think that in this price point, that's cash flow. I mean, and if you were to call him and just say, hey, you spoke with my assistant earlier. I help people buy and sell their investment property. So I'm just curious what you're going to do after this one sells. And by the way, I think we have a buyer. Can I come out to see it? Or I'm going to send Andrew out to see it. He's helping out our buyer's agent. Is personally what I would do so that I don't lose this, because you don't have any competition.
Right. All right. I love it. Okay.
So if I was the ISA for your team, I would stop my dial session right now and I would call your preferred lender, or I would look in your time CRM and I would find that pre-approved buyer. You know, Voxer all of your buyer's agents. Who has someone pre-approved that wants to buy in little L? And
Right.
get a contract accepted. Because I mean, that's like, this would be your next closing. No competition, ready to go. And he's hiring a real estate agent to take this over. So you guys want to go through some Q&A or questions or anything, or you want me to just hit go on the dialer?
No, we don't have to dial anymore. David, you have questions?
Well, yeah. So let's say you do have a person who's ready to go through the listing presentation. How do you want that transaction to work? Would I just get an email? Will you text me? How do you want to go about that?
Yeah. So when we actually set a listing appointment, I think that we had your scheduling links, didn't we? So we use Calendly links.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you should have the founder's Calendly.
Let me just see what that, I'm just going to pull it up real quick. Okay, cool. So your time zone, it looks like you have availability every 30 minutes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Is it reading off of your current calendar right now, or like when we set an appointment there, then you guys just round robin it to whomever is ready?
Well, specific listing agents, but the way that the calendar is set up, I believe on the back end, if something does get set, then it puts like a buffer for the next appointment that can be set. So one wouldn't be like at 2 o'clock and then at 2:30. I think the next possible one from 2 o'clock would have to be, I think 3:45 or 3, something like that.
Okay, got it. But I mean, I'm still working with the guys over at RedX to get their data stronger. They said that you should have the expired plus leads. I'm definitely not seeing the 1 to 6 answer rate on expireds. You can't use FSBOs when you're rating your data for expireds and cancels, because FSBOs give you their phone number. Like when we're talking about quality data for off markets, we were able to find their information for you, you know, and that's Vulcan 7 just excels at it. They have a 20 to 30% contact rate.
Okay.
So for RedX, it seems like I'm still, you know, batting under 10%. So, but we'll try it in the morning and then evening. And then, yeah, when you get Vulcan 7 locked up, that'll be a good comparison.
And how often will you be going over to our database?
I want to give you guys daily dial sessions.
Daily dial sessions, okay.
Yeah, morning and evening, have it rotated.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
then refer out those listing appointments for you guys. I've talked with Chasten about just, you know, a blanket referral agreement as we set appointments for you guys, but really I just want to use this for training, for training purposes, and then get you guys some listing appointments. So start converting some of your data.
Wow, you're a blessing. I don't know what we did to deserve you. Good gracious.
Oh, well, thank you, boss. Give him a big hug for me. He's done a lot for everybody. So
Sure.
Yeah, I love giving back, and you guys seem to be so easy to work with. So I appreciate it.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, guys.
Awesome.
I'm gonna my 11 a.m. call. I got to do a mastermind with one of my girlfriends. She wants to know what to do with her adult life. So we're gonna.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Real estate team in Florida, and you know, she's like, I want to write books. I want to empower women. I want to sell homes. I'm like, let's whiteboard this. I love it.
Yes. Well, have fun. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. All right, see you later. Hey, Annalise, I gotta go, honey, but thanks for joining. I'll see you later. Thanks, Ben.
Okay. Yeah.